Hey, good morning, everybody. It is 6:41 a.m. on your Monday morning. Happy Monday. Hope your day's getting off to a great start. I think I can help for today, at least. Today it is a partly sunny day, a mostly sunny day. It's going to be upper 80s. It is going to be warm and humid today. I think the big weather story this week kind of depends where you live. Or we could say there's two weather stories. Tomorrow's severe weather outlook, I'm going to go through the timing on that. We have a lot to talk about, particularly over in Kansas for your Tuesday afternoon, evening, although all of Tuesday looks stormy. And then that's going to turn around by late week. We have hazardous heat, possibly hazardous heat, dangerous even, setting in by Friday with heat index over 100 in some spots to end the week. So as I said, today, not so bad. Surface chart has a ridge of high pressure directly over our area. We stay dry. There's some shortwave disturbances off to our north and south, but for most of us, nothing that we need to talk about today. Some patchy fog out there through about, I think, 9 a.m. this morning. By the time most of you see this, probably hasn't affected your day at all. Temperatures today, I'm looking at upper 80s in Kansas City, maybe 90 just north of Kansas City. Should be about 86 throughout Cass County, Henry County. 84, a little bit cooler to the south, over towards Lacine, Mound City, Pleasanton. 84 for Butler, 84 Fort Scott and Nevada, maybe picking up 82 down in Joplin today. So let's go ahead and talk about Tuesday first. Now that we have today dealt with, no change from severe weather outlook overnight with overnight data. 3 out of 5 still encompassing a big chunk of central and east central Kansas. This is again for Tuesday, June 17th. What are our specific risks? Same thing that we have seen all season long. Here's your tornado outlook for Tuesday. The brown or gray there shaded 5 to 9% probability of tornado. So still low, but we do have the potential for supercell development, especially early on, out ahead of the main lift that comes through. So I'll show you what that means in just a second. I think for the majority of us, though, the wind risk is predominant. So we could have very strong winds. That deals with a line of storms that likely move through with the main lifting mechanism that comes through. So that's what we see. But all of Tuesday honestly looks rainy and stormy. Let me go ahead and put some timing on this. I've got this up to about midnight tonight. So moving into the early morning hours of Tuesday, thunderstorms develop up in Nebraska. They scoot down across the Kansas border. I don't really, these kind of drop out. Here's looking at tomorrow morning at about 8 a.m. So we could have some light showers that are moving into Kansas City. A few little thunderstorm complexes you see there around I-70 out in Kansas, right? But I think it's just light showers, and they move off to the south and the east. So I'll stop this here at about 11 a.m., and you can see possibly light showers stretching from KC down the 49 and 69 corridors as you head south. Possibly some thunderstorms down in southeast Kansas, but probably not too much to talk about through the daytime. See a little ribbon. There it is. Yeah, popping up late afternoon. Again, some light showers, possibly a few wind gusts through the afternoon. But here we are there's midnight. It's my starting point, right? So at midnight, 1, 2, 3 a.m. now, headed over into Wednesday morning, actually. Look at these thunderstorms that develop right there along I-70, focused over Salina. So as these move along, I'm going to show you two different data sets because this is midnight. This is Tuesday, Wednesday, midnight. I see Boeing line segments. So out ahead of the front, let me back up. These are the areas that we're going to watch for. Let me go ahead and put up a couple of different instability values. Here is surface cape that I talk about quite a bit. We have strong cape, and I actually see updraft helicity tracks giving me some vectors in this area as well. So we're going to pay attention to any storms that cluster up out ahead of the front. These are going to be possibly discrete cells where we would be talking about that lower end tornado risk, but also very large hail. And then as we go deeper into the morning, looks like storms take on a little bit more linear orientation where we are talking about strong, damaging straight line winds. And so let me back up and use North American model data now because it portrays this a little bit differently, but they're very similar. So this puts this a little bit earlier, North American data now saying by midnight we have possibly more of a linear structure working its way through Emporia, headed over towards Ottawa, coming down here towards Iola and Fort Scott. So I think this is predominantly for east central Kansas, west central Missouri. Let me back up because there's midnight. So, this is a late evening, past 9 p.m., 10, 11, working towards midnight that we possibly have a linear threat. Does look to dissipate a little bit as it goes across state line. But these will still be very strong storms, especially if they do take this linear orientation. So earlier in the evening, we were talking about those clustered cells, possibly bringing that tornado risk and large hail. As we move into the overnight, early morning hours, we talk about very, very strong and damaging winds. That's what I have for timing on that as of right now. We'll check it again this afternoon and in the morning. Excessive rainfall is the other side of that. Again, most of our areas not needing any more rain. WPC focusing excessive rainfall, which measures how much more the ground can take, is one of the factors into this. And so the highlighted yellow there, looking at northeast Kansas as our bullseye for excessive rainfall with this system. Here's what I think it means for local amounts. Most of that area picking up almost 3 inches, but around Kansas City, 2.6, 2.7. Over on the Missouri side, look there with me. It drops off coming down through Cass County into Bates, 2 inches and below. By the time we get down to Nevada, maybe 1.5 inches, a little bit more. Over on the Kansas side, you guys pick up overall just a little bit more rainfall out of this system. None of us need it, but this is an efficient system with high precipitable water values that I was looking at this morning. So again, keep an eye on that, but know that is coming. As I said, the big weather story depends where you live and depends what matters to you, I guess. But all of us are going to feel, Friday, Saturday, Sunday? Look at that. Tuesday, tomorrow, by the way, before all this gets here, still 88 degrees, so it'll be warm and plenty humid. But Friday, Saturday, and Sunday are going to put us in the 90s before things cool back down just a few degrees again. But it's these heat index values that I wanted to bring to you this morning for sure. I do see heat index over 100. I see 101 in Cass County, and this is data for Friday. So it's going to set in pretty quick. The first heat wave of the year, first significant heat wave, always is the most significant. It catches us off guard. We're not completely ready for it yet. So just know that. Plan to take things slow and see that coming for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it looks like to me. So that is what I have. We'll check the data again this afternoon. I will be here to live stream weather threats beginning with those early clustered cells. We'll look for that in the late afternoon tomorrow before looking at probably tomorrow into the overnight Wednesday for the main show. We'll go through it together. Catch you later. In the meantime, it's Monday. Have a good one.